I'm just sitting here thinking, I mean, it really is all choices, right? Like, listening to the past few, it was, I got off and I said, what is it? I mean, am I in my ego in that thought, in those conversations? Like, is it, like that I don't have some specific product out of not enjoyment for me? In other words, like, there are a lot of things I could do and turn into products to sell, of which seems draining and exhausting to me, right? Like, I'm already like, I've already attempted so many, businesses and startups and all these things. And I know they say to keep going. I'm not trying to discourage, but what I'm trying to get to was we started laughing, like, what do I enjoy? What would I love? And it's like, do I just live in the wrong era? I would love to sit around and just have deep conversations with people and look at art and make love and eat and frolic and all these things. And it's like, what do I live in some, romance novel from the 1800s? Maybe. I don't know. Like, it's so, that was what it was. It was like, I just took a deep breath and was like, what will make me happy, right? And it's like, it is almost like tired of, it feels like it's not tired of like thinking about it. It's like tired of trying, right? Like, I have put forth so much effort that I'm exhausted. And so it is actually just relaxing to me to sit around and enjoy good company and friends and family and food and art and culture and discussions and philosophy, just for the enjoyment of it, right? And nothing more, nothing less. Not to solve some problem, not for any other thing than it's enjoyable to think, right? And to open up our minds and to expand and whatnot. No outcome, no point or purpose necessary or required to feel it was justified or validated, just because we enjoy it, just because we like it, just because it's fun, just because. And I don't know, I guess I just miss those days or want my people, right? Like, we talk about that a lot, right? That have that same enjoyment of that indulgence. But I guess it's also, they're showing it's like, and also to have that safety and security to do such, right? Oh, that was a big part of it, in recent years, where it was like, well, I had that indulgence and enjoyment and whatnot, and I did feel like some bomb came in and blew all that up, and there was this like fright and fear, and it was shaky ground. It wasn't stability, it wasn't security, it wasn't certainty. There was none of that. And when you're in those states, when they're, and I still am working my way out of those states of uncertainty and no stability and no security and no, all these things, it can be, that is more challenging to relax and indulge in the present and knowing all is well at this current moment, right? It's like when your nervous system is fried that way, it's almost like forced to look in the past or the future. But what's so funny is it's in doing such, it's keeping your nervous system in that state, right? It's like you can't get out of your own way. And so that's why you hear the practice of coming back to the present moment is the practice, because then you can realize, oh, everything is okay right now. Everything's great, right? And if you can keep yourself as close to the present moment, if not in the present moment, the better off you are. Meaning, if you can stay right there and don't speed up too quick, be like, okay, everything's okay, all right. Okay, well, what do I want to do right now, right? In other words, my mind sometimes will start to roll and speed up, where I'll be okay. I'm all right in the present moment. I'll ground myself. I'll decide what I want to do for the next hour, the next half a day, the next day. But If I start to roll too much or too quick, all of a sudden I'll leap into 5 years or 10 years from now, and then I'll be like, oh, fuck it. I can't enjoy myself today. I have too much to worry about in the future. And it's like, okay, well, are you going to get that accomplished today? No. Well, why don't you go enjoy? I can't enjoy now because now I'm worried about the future. It's like we're putting our nervous system and our state of mind back into a place that it doesn't belong or exist right now. And so we are causing our own problems. We're getting in our own way. And I do this. I think, well, I can only relate to me and what I know, and having that label of ADD or ADHD. It's a tendency of ours, or at least it's a tendency of mine, and I'm associating it with that, the way my brain works and how and so I have had to actively find ways to slow it down and to get back into the present moment and to address why it's speeding up and what I can do about it so that I can calm my nervous system. Because it's essentially what we all want to do, is calm our nervous system and even everything out so that we can remain in the present moment and recognize truth versus some prediction or fantasy or old illusion, or old illusion, meaning we could have made up the past for something different than it was because we mishinged meanings all over the place and we never got clarity. And I think that happens for a lot of us, which we've talked about leads to depression and confusion and delusion. And sometimes you don't get to unravel that in real time with said people for various reasons. And so you have to, again, figure out ways. Well, what can you do? How can you more or less console yourself to justify the scales, to balance it out so that you can come back to the present moment? Otherwise, you're forever going to be back there. And so I do think it's important work to do at times. Otherwise, you can't ever get back to the present moment. You can't get yourself out of the loop or the cycle. So it's like a worthy investment to spend doing stuff we don't like, that doesn't feel good, looking in things that could prove we were wrong, and or feeling things that we didn't like to feel, but so we can better understand them and correctly hinge the right meanings and understand ourselves, understand why we did what we did when we did it and why we gave it the meaning we gave it, and forgive ourselves, forgive the other person. Really, we're only forgiving ourselves. It's like the first step is to forgive the other person, but nothing wrong really ever happens outside of us because it's all coming from within us. But then we have to forgive ourselves for that. And so a lot of times that's too big of a leap for most of us. And it's like we can do those leaps after we've done the practice of the first part long enough. It's like then, okay, now you can graduate to the next level. But, some of us, I know for me, and I still practice many of things that were maybe kindergarten level for me, that I need to go back to kindergarten and first grade sometimes and get like the refresher before I can speed back up to where I'm at. So I do revert back at times. But it's necessary for some of us. Like sometimes it is like, what happened? What did you forget? Where did you fall off? What principle are you not putting in place here? It's like doing mathematics and all of a sudden you forget how to add. And it's like, wait. What happened? Did you forget the basics? Did you forget to add that? Did you forget to, what happened? Oh my God, I totally did. I don't know why. I don't understand why or how I possibly could have forgotten that, but clearly I did. Now I'm back on track. Thank you very much. So it can be almost like embarrassing or silly or the simplest thing. It's like having a brain fart, right? You're like, what happened? I don't know. And sometimes it is just going too quick, too fast, it's almost like when we go too quick or too fast, it can be sloppy in that sense, or we do skip steps or we do miss things. And ironically, sometimes it's because we're trying so hard, right? We're not relaxed enough. And if we're not relaxed enough, we can't be in the present moment. So we are in the past or the future worrying about all types of things and trying so hard to get back to the present moment that we're not able to get back to the present moment, and we're not able to hear and see, right? Because again, we're so preoccupying our energy with the past or the future or efforting or trying or all these things that there's no room for the present moment. There's no room for relaxation. It is our ego getting in our way. And again, not necessarily, like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's our ego's basically trying to protect us, right? Like, oh, we know all this stuff happened before and we can't have it happen again. So we have to, and it's like, you got to calm your ego down and love your ego and love yourself and love that inner child. That's the idea of the shadow work, right? Like loving oneself and integrating and balancing out and telling yourself the correct thing and growing up, right? Maturing your inner child, growing your ego, maturing your ego, saying, listen, I love you so much. Thank you so much. You're right. We needed that. We did. That was great. Thank God you did that. That was great that you made that hinge. But now that we're older and calmer and more relaxed, like, let's look at that hinge. That actually wasn't what happened. We made it mean something it didn't mean. And then we believed it and built on it for years. So we're going to have to knock that down. And that's going to maybe be painful, but it'll be worth it in the end. And I'm right here with you. And so it's like you have to tell yourself the right stuff and then take the right action. Okay. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.